Russell Kanoom, Consul Moon. You already know what you're gonna get when you step in the room. You're now dealing with Kanoom. Yeah, I'm here. And while I'm here, I'm gonna make the information direct and clear, because a lot of y'all can't hear. Yeah. Now, today we're gonna talk about these pastors, these wicked ass, silly pastors that's taking and stealing your money. Okay, we live. Making sure we live. And they steal all your money, and they're not of any importance. They just like you. They're a believer who believed on certain things in the past. I don't know if they was, I don't from conceptually. I don't know if they were, true and devout believers of that certain belief, and then find out that they can, monetize it, make a dollar amount out of it. It became economically friendly to them. They became economically powerful, and then they started abusing it. And I believe they became more of a businessman, from a businessman model and a businessman aspect, than the same believer that they started off as eccentrically, okay, from its essence, from the beginning. So essentially, they started off as believers who wanted to push the word, because when you find out something new, I even find that out to be true, you want to spread it to somebody else. So when you find some truths, you want to spread it, and that's just human nature. But we're going to talk about these thieves, these men that have amassed fortunes, and if they were really true men of God, not charlatans, thieves, original sinners, evil doers, um, silly ass people, for lack of better terms, then they wouldn't be able to amass these big fortunes. So what I'm proposing to you is to show you how to why to stop paying them. They shouldn't be paid. There's nothing special about them, and things like that in the nutshell. But we're gonna play this video first off from the ancestors, because without them, I wouldn't be on the voyage that I'm on. I wouldn't be on this same type of journey if it wasn't for these men right here. And these are just a few of the men who stimulated my hunger and want to understand and African studies, my African heritage, and just historical aspects of who I am and who we are as African people in America. So we're gonna play this. You know what I mean? This is for the ancestors.
Get through your mind and keep it. Nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. And I said there's no exception.
Okay, so them are some powerful names on there, if you know them names. And them men were essential in me doing what I'm doing, and the journey and the path that I'm taking. Now that you see me before you, I got one of them on my shirt now. That's El Haj Malik Shabazz. That's Malcolm X. You hear me? So uh, we're gonna do a live lecture, a slide show, a lecture form, live presentation of why you should stop paying these charlatans. You call them pastors. You think they're some type of men of God. They have some type of anointing on their life, and they supposed to be, you know what I mean, leading like they're leading because you believe God gave them this gift or ordained them in a certain manner, which is a lie. Okay, so let's get into this. Let's get into this, baby. Make sure I'm sharing correctly, because I want y'all to see the full screen. Okay, hold on. I'm not in there, so I think I need to be in there as well.
I don't have an answer for that.
Okay.
I don't have an answer for that.
Should be on there. Let's see where I'm at. Okay.
I don't have an answer for that.
Should be on there. Let's see where I'm at. Okay.
I don't have an answer for that.
Should be on there. See if I'm on there now. All right, and excuse me, that was my watch. I don't know why my watch picking things up. All right, excuse me, that was my watch. Yeah. So this how it is right here. This is the slide. I hope you can see it in a nice roomy size. It says stop paying your pastors right now. And they got a couple of people on there you might be familiar with. From top left, that's Kenneth Copeland. The middle, that's Pat Robertson. On the right with the two fingers up, and I believe that's Masonic form and posture. That's Joel Osteen. But it looks like, it can be a field goal sign, or, what I mean, like we got him, whatever the case may be. He always doing them finger pointing, and he wants it to be looked upon as something innocent, but nobody does anything in the form of a man of his stature and the power that people bestow upon him without it meaning something. He's not going to hold his hands like that just for the sake of him holding his hands like that. So that means something. You got Benny Hinn down top, bottom left. You got in the middle, I believe his name's Franklin Roberts, and on the right is Oral Roberts. These are men that amassed fortunes from lies, telling people they were handpicked, ordained, and they got some type of power that they should be leading people. And they have a little bit more of a connection with God than you do. So you need their help to kind of navigate through the evils of life. You understand where I'm coming from? And they made a living off that, a killing. You know what I mean? It's only a couple slides on here, and I'm gonna show you, how they amass their fortune and what kind of money they have. But really, this is really just a chat on how to say, for me to explain to you that these people are just gimmicks. This is another racket. It's another form of me getting paid, without doing too much to really needs to be getting paid for. It's nothing special about these gentlemen. So we're gonna start off with the quote from Walter Williams, which is facts, which are stronger than argument, more profound than reasoning, more dependable than opinion, silences disputes, supersedes predictions, and facts always end the arguments, if you know the facts. So I like to deal in facts. And we're going to also hit some notes. I wrote some notes down. I want to hit some notes, for you guys as well. My first point I wrote on here is that there's no reason for you to be doing so. And I'm referring to the title, Stop Paying Your Pastors. There's no reason for you to be doing so in the first place. And I asked the question, is God for sale? Okay. If God is not for sale, then why must you continuously pay these people? I understand you have in the African community, the African American community, a lot of people they scared of the term African, but I use it all the time because there's more power in the African community of the people that live in America. You find out that they used to have a thing called building funds and help the pastor pay the lights, keep the church, and so forth and so on. But in this day and age, you can understand that we way past that. There's nobody now with a little wrinkly, knocked over building that needs paint and things of that in the inner city, real kind of rough inner city there are. But these people are leading mega churches. They don't need help with the rent. They don't need help with no building fund. They don't need help with anything. Okay? You got these people now just outright idolaters, for to use a religious term, charlatans to use another religious term, and they just straight they ask and call it how they want to see it. When a motherfucker say I want a plane, a jet airplane, and God believe I should have it, and you gonna give it to me, and I want to be blessed with another airplane. He have one, but they don't move fast enough through the air to get him to these different places. Excuse me. That's a hustler. There's nothing else about us, a motherfucking hustler. And you sit there and his congregation and his congregants, his initiatives, his initiates, and all these people, they go do it. They go get that fortune, and each week they give him so much money till he go be able to buy that jet airplane. Okay, that's straight out blasphemous, and that's straight out greedy for a motherfucker to say I need a $60 million plane and he get it. And I'm referring to Creflo's silly ass dollar. Okay, all about a dollar. A dollar makes him holler. That's not his real name. He changed his name to that. If you didn't know, that's just for your information. Okay. Now, God is not for sale. You can't show me anywhere in the Bible where this Jesus the Christ used to go around and collect collection plates after he did miracles, and he would go preach somewhere, and then he would get a bunch of collection plates. Hey, Paul, Peter, John, all these people. The other one that betrayed him, Judas, Mary, all these people. Hey, run the collection plate around the whole cathedral or the synagogue. They didn't have any of that, and the people not real. The people I'm naming not real, but I'm speaking about literary history, which is the Bible. Run that collection plate around here so you can give me all the money, because I'm gonna do a miracle, and then I want my collection plate. Show me where that's at in the Bible. So God is not for sale. And when I'm talking about God, I'm talking about Jesus the Christ, because now, they have people led you to believe that Jesus is God. And then you got some people who saying, no, Jesus is just the son of God, and they leave him at that. But the people that believe that don't know how to read the New Testament, because in John, the book of John, it unveils who Jesus the Christ always was, and he's incarnated as his Father. So whoever want to stick to the silly point that Jesus is just the son of God, you don't read your Bibles the way that people want you to interpret them. Okay, that's number one. My second point is that the so-called God of the Bible is not for sale, or is God for sale? Okay, somebody need to explain that to the people, me included, and you guys. If God is for sale, how much money it's gonna take, to buy a favor from God? Because we never was like, look, it costs $10,000. You're almost at that mark. So in another 6 or 7 Sundays or 6 or 7 years of you devoutly going, you've been putting $1 in the collection plate. So over so many years, you will get to the $10,000 point, and you all right with God now. I mean, goddamn, it got to be a motherfucking cutoff. You hear me? We're not as prosperous as the men I'm gonna show you. So if it's a $10,000, $5,000 fee for God, somebody should show me, or show us how much of a motherfucking fee it's gonna be for me to be all right with God. Because if they show us that, I'm pretty sure it'd be bank robbers, more knocking over the heads, more muggins, more people stealing out of their motherfucking wife's purse and account and mother's purse and cookie jar. So they won't give you the price for God. So since there's no agreed upon price for God, my second point is there's no price for God. So why in the fuck are you paying the pastors who you believe is close to God to get you in better with God? See, it's a middleman's middleman. The pastor is the middleman of the middleman. And then you got the middleman of the middleman. Okay? You pay the pastor because you believe the pastor in tight with God, which is Jesus. Then Jesus in turn got to take your shit to his Father, which Jesus is his Father. So it becomes a whole lot of confusing, and it's no sense to the shit anyway. Okay? My third point is, if any other person other than a pastor or clergyman, anybody in the religious titles, that's clergymen, okay, ask for a payment every week. Let's just, for example, like a doctor. Once they put their cast on, and each week they say, hey, it's Wednesday. I'm expecting you to pay me, again. I put that cast on last week, but I'm expecting some more money Wednesday. What you mean? You gave me the cast. I paid the people, the doctor or my insurance company They gave you set amount of dollars and so forth and so on. It's Wednesday. Each Wednesday, I want you to come back here. I want to take a look at you in that cast, and you continue to just bring me money. Offerings, love offerings, casket offerings, thanking me for the cast, putting the cast on, um, just taking care of me. You wouldn't do that. Your favorite mechanic. Hey man, I did your brakes last month. Okay, but each week after that, come by and give me that extra $40 just to show me you appreciate me. And then you got the, you know what I mean? I'm tied in more special than you are to brakes. You don't know about brakes. So since I do brakes so well, continue to pay me for a service that I already did, but pay me each week continuously, and it never stops. Okay, you wouldn't do that outside of religion, so why in the fuck are you doing it now? All this is an example to show you to stop paying these silly ass men. Okay, that was my third point. And the fourth point is God is a mailbox. Okay, I want you guys to really understand this. God is a mailbox. And let me click down to the next slide because we're going somewhere now. God is a mailbox. Things can only go into God. Keep the mailbox expression in your mind. Things can only go into God. Okay? A mailbox is a certain way. I'm talking about a mailbox that's locked, but only has a envelope slot. Okay? You put the envelope in, you can't retrieve it. Once you put it in there, the mailman has to come retrieve it. That's a federal law if you go in there. Or you take a hanger and try to put bubble gum on the hanger and get your note back out of there, your letter. Okay? A mailbox receives only. It does not dish things back out. That's God. That's the same sense as God and the pastors. When you give God something, if I take something in the physical and give it to God, I don't know how I would do that, but I would have to take something physical and make it disappear, if you will, because God is a mind frame and it's something you can't see. So I would take something physical, give it to God, okay? Which you believe that the pastor, he has that relationship to give things to God and so forth and so on. He relays your message to God and he takes your offerings and do stuff with it that God wants him doing with it in your silly ass mind. But since God is a mailbox, when you put something in physical, you can never get nothing back out. And matter of fact, the invisible God, the essence of God, the spirituality part, the spiritual essence, the whole invisible God, he couldn't do anything in the physical. If a motherfucker, invisible man, knock a picture down and you say, damn, God must want to tell me something. That was the wind or something. You know what I mean? Now, they got people that's out there believing in ghosts and he knocked my window down, he broke my vase and all that. I see it on television. Now, the people that's having that type of unfortunate time on this planet, I don't know what they've done, and I don't know why they're going through them experiences. But I haven't had experiences like that, so I don't buy into that. Okay, I'm not going to disregard it because that's somebody that they believe that stuff is true. But the envelope expression is hard and solid enough. When you drop something into God, you'll never get it back out. Okay, now these are the people that you need to stop paying, and these nothing but Europeans, as you've seen on this one. Now we're gonna get into the Creflos and all these Geno Jennings and all these clowns, Kearney Thomas and David E. Taylor. We're gonna get into all these black silly people too, but these are the progenitors of this shit. The European, he wanted to be that God-like figure. That's why Jesus is always painted white. So I'm dealing with the Europeans and how much fortune they amassed, okay? Now, Joel Osteen, he's worth 100 million. Say it right here, net worth 100 million. Joel Osteen is senior pastor at Lakewood Church, the largest Protestant church in America. In 1999, Osteen, now 57, inherited the church. He inherited the church and its television ministry from late father John Osteen. Today, the church is the largest in the United States with an estimate attendance of more than 50,000 people. Okay? Osteen's book, Your Best Life, now was on the New York's Times bestseller list for 200 weeks. Okay. Royalties from his book sales, radio shows, public speaking, fees, and church collection reportedly generate $55 million per year. So that's a very low estimate of it. He and his wife, co-pastor Victoria Osteen, live with their 2 kids in a $10.5 million mansion in the Houston suburbs, according to Culture Map. Joel Osteen net worth is reported at 100 million, according to Celebrity Net Worth in August 2017. Okay, so this year's back. After receiving criticism for not helping Hurricane Harvey victims, Osteen opened his 16,800 seat Houston megachurch to evacuees. Okay, so he wouldn't even help a motherfucker. So he couldn't be ordained by God or some superhuman man that was like, hey, God wants me to help people. No, don't let that smile fool you. Do not let that smile fool you. His silly ass is amassing a fortune for him and his family. Straight like that. And if you see it as anything else, you should get your head checked out. Okay? He didn't even want to help Hurricane Harvey victims. Next, Pat Robertson. Look at him. Everybody smiling ain't your friend. We really need to understand that as African people. These people are amassing fortunes. If you was a righteous man, you wouldn't even have 100 million. A righteous man wouldn't even live in a $10.5 million house. A man that's righteous and ordained and handpicked by God, he will live, he don't have to live in no hut, but I'm pretty sure a million ain't modest, but he can have $1 million home. If you have $100 million and you're doing the righteous thing you believe God and Jesus was doing in the Bible, you wouldn't have $100 million left. You would be busy giving it out, and you will have just enough for you and your family. Like, man, all I got is this much left, and each week I'm gonna give out whatever they give me back in. So you will never be able to amass 100 million if you was truly a righteous man. That's just a fact. Televangelist Pat Robertson is a Southern Baptist with a charismatic ideology. In 1960, he founded Christian Broadcasting Network, the CBN, which now broadcasts shows in 180 countries in 71 languages. The flagship show, The 700 Club, airs daily, featuring news, live guests, music, and testimony oriented around the Christian lifestyle. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Excuse me. In addition to the television network, Robertson, 90, is a former Marine who ran unsuccessfully for U.S. president in 1988. So good, he didn't become president. Good. He also founded a Christian Coalition, a Christian right organization that raises money for conservative political candidates. Why? When you got homeless sitting there, who the fuck care about a conservative political candidate? They use their money for the wrong shit, but you believe they righteous and sent and ordained by God and handpicked to be anointed to do this job. That's bullshit. Stop paying them today. You hear me? He's amassed a fortune. And then he was so bloodthirsty. And what I mean by that, I'm talking about power. He wanted to be so powerful that he ran for president. He threw his hat in the ring like, shit. They believe God want me to be having 100 million. Why not run for president? Fuck it. They nothing but racket players. They running rackets right in your motherfucking face, and you fall victim to it. And I have too. That's why I'm trying to tell you, stop. We're gonna talk about them hole in the wall pastors too, but this part one. I'm bringing you the big boys first, the progenitors of this silly shit, which is the caveman, the Uralian monkey, in the words of my boy Seti. Shout out to Seti. master teacher, the Uralian monkey, the caveman, the Neanderthal. They're the progenitors of wanting to be God and with the white image, and they want you to pay them for letting them have some of their God. He is also founder of co-founder. He is also founder. I'm sorry, CEO and chancellor of Regent University. Robertson's net worth is reported as 100 million. Though Robertson has been a staunch Trump supporter, he said in late December that the president lives in alternate reality and that he needs to accept Biden's win, according to the Washington Post. Okay, he busy in politics, all kind of shit, but he supposed to be ordained by God and only doing God work. A political man is not a religious man. So he was trying to mesh the two, but he got something to say about Donald Trump. If Donald Trump is a political man, I mean, he shouldn't have anything to do with the religious aspect of anything. Just like he's a religious man, he shouldn't be able to talk about anything about no political aspect and worry about what the politicians got going on. He got one job. He amassed a fortune, over 100 million. These estimates look to be kind of dated. So he should be worrying about doing good things with that money instead of just trying to help out political candidates, conservative ones at that. This is Kenneth Copeland. And I've heard this guy, he's bragged about being damn near worth $1 billion. So again, these estimates might be dated. I didn't care to look at it because I don't care if he worth $1 billion today. I mean, it's just as bad as him being worth 300 to 750 million. I don't give a fuck if these from 2010 or right now today they worth triple the amount. They shouldn't have been able to amass this type of fortune if they were righteous men with righteous intents like the men in the Bible were. They don't believe that Bible shit. That's for you. That's for the people that's following them. Okay? That's for their congregants. That's for their initiates. Okay? That's for their adherents. That's for their congregation. And that's for the crowd and the people that visibly see them because they televangelists. That's that silly ass story. You hear me? People don't believe in that shit. And the quicker you can stop believing in that silly ass, stupid shit, these religious books were wrote by men. Nothing religious about them. Well, they're religious, but they're nothing spiritual about them. Okay? Really need to understand that. These silly ass men don't care about nothing but amassing fortunes. Kenneth Copeland's silly ass. Let's deal with this with this European, this Neanderthal caveman. And I'm calling them that. They should be called more than that because you have to be cold as ice to amass this big fortune and continuously smile. All of them got smiles on their face because they're like, hell yeah, right after this, we headed straight to the bank, baby. Another deposit. And nothing never comes out because when you send shit to God, that's the perfect hideout. They don't have to bring nothing back out. So yeah, they say, oh, I give to charity. But again, remember the envelope. Remember the mailbox analogy. When you put shit in to God, they don't have to let none of it go out. They don't pay taxes. That lets you know they don't believe in giving nothing back out. You have to wake up. Stop paying your pastors today. They shouldn't be paid anyway. They're nobody special. No pastor is nothing special. They got schools and shit now. Seminary schools and all this type of shit. Missionary schools, Christian schools, Islamic schools. Just waste the fucking money. But when a person wake up, some people just wake up. Yeah, I was touched by God. Now, God is in me, so I want to lead a church. You don't need no license. That's the new shit today. When they put that on the wall, yeah, I'm substantiated. I got my degree. I got my, you know what I mean? I'm in like a motherfucker. That's to get more money. Kenneth Copeland converted to Christianity in the 1960s and went to become a giant within the world of faith branch. He became a giant within the world of faith branch of Pentecostalism. Okay. He currently leads Kenneth Copeland Ministries and preaches through TV, books, DVDs, and CDs. Copeland preaches abundance and prosperity, commonly referred to as prosperity gospel, the prosperity gospel. Kenneth Copeland Ministry is located on a 1,500-acre campus near Fort Worth, Texas. Man got 1,500 acres for his church. Excuse me. The grounds include a church as well as a private airstrip. He wanted these motherfuckers with all them airplanes and hangar for $17.5 million jet and other aircraft. Copeland reportedly lives in a 6.3 lakefront. That's 6.3 million, y'all. Lakefront mansion funded by his church. The God theory is funded by his church because when you give to God, nothing comes out. So of course he can say that the church bought him that house. Again, you gave your money to God. He's speaking for God. Again, in the words of Seti, the man that speaks for God is God. So he's God at that time. You put everything in, you can't get the money back out. God don't give nothing back. The mailbox don't spit mail out, it just accept mail in. Okay? So his house is funded by his church. But again, he God anyway, because the man that speaks for God is God. There's no God. Let's be clear on that. Although Celebrity Network reports that his net worth is $300 million, insiders report Kenneth Copeland's net worth could be $750 million or more. That's a motherfucking shame. Just smiling. If I took that kind of money from a person because I'm promising them some prosperity and some God gonna do this for you, God gonna do that for me, just send me the money, give me your checkbook, give me all your purse, everything, shit, because I can do more with it than you can. You're not gonna know what to do with it. Give me you went to work, 40 hours, 60 hours, what you work? You got overtime and shit too. Give me that check. Because I'm gonna do what God want me to do with it. You ain't gonna know what to do with it. Keep just what you need to function. You know what I mean? Go to work, get your gas and eat and shit for your family. Give me the rest, because God want me to have it. I'm a better steward than you are. See, I'm a pastor. God put pastors in a good seat so we can lead. I mean, as long as you believe that silly shit, they can run shit like this. This man then amassed $1 billion. Okay? $1 billion. You hear me? Because if he worth 750 million, oh, he worth $1 billion. So we need to understand, stop paying these pastors, because all you're doing is giving them money to furnish their big luxury lifestyles. Okay? Now, these are the pet names for the clergymen. And clergymen mean this. I used it a couple times earlier. A male priest, minister, or religious leader, especially a Christian one. So these are the pet names that I created for the clergymen. Okay? Bishop Bada Dollar, because that's what your bishop is about. Affectionately known as Bishop Pig Feet. You know they fucked them pig feet up. Come on now, don't act like that. Y'all know the bishop will fuck a pig feet up. Pastor, pass the collection plate. So you know him as Pastor Ronnie. You know. Oh, you talking about Pastor Ronell. Oh, Pastor Jake, Pastor Dollar. Oh man, why are you saying that about Pastor Bernie, Pastor Harold, Pastor Wesley? My pastor said this, that, and the third. Pastor, pass the collection plate. These are pet names I made for him. Affectionately known as Pastor Pork Chop. Come on now. You know your pastor will fuck a pork chop up. He do it all the time. He's frequenting it at the soul food places in that town. If it's a guy up out of Huntsville, if it's a guy out of Atlanta, it's a guy up out of all these different parts of Georgia, Texas, whatever have you, they frequent it at the soul food place. They know their name. Hey, Pastor Ron, you back? You want your number 7, right? Don't worry, we have it coming right up. He bring his family and everything, or sometimes he just get lunch. Pastor passed the collection plate, affectionately known as Pastor Pork Chop. Okay, these are names I made up for the pastors. Deacon don't know a damn thing. You ever seen that little deacon? You try to ask him a question, he don't know a damn thing, so he always refer you to the pastor. Ask pastor, ask bishop. That's a little ahead of me. I don't really know that yet. Deacon don't know a damn thing. Affectionately known as Deacon Donut. Come on now, y'all. They always bring donuts. I used to be a porter. Okay, donuts is in the bag at all times. So Deacon Donut. Deacon don't know a damn thing. Affectionately known as Deacon Donut. Okay. Minister. Make me my money. Okay, that's all the minister about. Minister, make me my money. Affectionately known as Minister Chicken Dinner. Now you know the pastor fuck a chicken dinner up. The pastor they all eat, but the pastor want to stay away from pig feet, pork chops, and some of them even stay away from donut. Got a little conscious about it. Say making money now, so he's self-conscious. So minister, make me my money. Here, preferably have a chicken dinner. I prefer a chicken dinner. What y'all getting all that pork and stuff? Oh no, I can't have that pork and roast beef and ham hocks and all that type of stuff no more. Get me the chicken dinner, okay? Minister, make me my money, affectionately known as Minister Chicken Dinner. Now you know him as Minister Mike. Again, Minister Miguel, Minister Howard, Minister Hughes. Oh, you talking about Minister Thompson, Minister Thomas. Yeah, I know. Minister, make me my money, affectionately known as Minister Chicken Dinner. Okay. Now this for the Muslim. Imam, I'm a hustler, affectionately known as a damn fool. All the imams is a hustler. Every imam I ever seen was a hustling motherfucker, from the newspaper to the bean pot. They got their own, they got their own shit going on. They got their own bakery. They make their own grease, hair care products, skin products. Imam, I'm a Muslim. I'm sorry, not Iman, I'm a hustler. Iman, I'm a Muslim. That's it, because that's all they learn. Or affectionately known as I'm a damn fool. Okay? Not I'm a hustler, I'm sorry. Imam, I'm a Muslim. They don't get no further than that. Hey, brother, what are you? I'm Muslim. And then that, you leave them alone from there because you think they are higher of knowledge. No. Imam, I'm a Muslim, affectionately known as damn fool. Because that's all they are. Okay? And you're not going to like this one. But Pope passed the boys. Now, this comes from thousands and thousands, countless allegations reported down there at the Catholic Church. So, Pope passed the boys, affectionately known as pedophile. Okay? Now, those are the pet names for the clergymen that you love to call, Bishop Mike, Bishop, boy, Bishop was on fire, Bishop Thomas, Minister Mason, Minister this, Minister that, Deacon this, Pastor that. That's what they are. Okay? So, I want to thank you guys for watching. Let me remove this. We don't need that. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. It's Lil Kenny Russell, Kanoom Connoisseur Moon. You already know what you're going to get when you step in the room. You're now dealing with Kanoom. Yay. This is what I do, and I love to do it. And before I take back what I said, I add some more to it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, hit the like button, share the video, because a lot of people need to know about this. You've been had, you've been took, you've been hoodwinked. In the words of Malcolm, I got him on my shirt. You've been bamboozled, ran amok, all of that type of stuff. Let people know to stop giving to the pastor today. Okay? You've been a damn fool long enough. Now I want to share this with you one more time. If anybody was offended by anything you heard, I mean every word. We're going to end it with the ancestors, okay? And one of them are still living, Walter Williams, and he's an elder. So we're going to end it with that.
Nothing that ever came from the European mind was meant to do anything but facilitate European domination of the world. And I said there's no exception.